Sunrise Automotive.
So just call you back at this number?
Yeah, just give me a call back at 690-1993 whenever you're ready to come in. And you can drop it off, leave it with us, whatever's most convenient for you. Look forward to seeing you at Sunrise Automotive.
All right, 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this morning. One of the things that is just a simple, plain, important fact of life is that our money is important. And on the phone is Brian Ford. He's the Financial Wellbeing Executive for SunTrust Banks. And he's going to talk to us about the results of SunTrust Bank's new survey about financial stability and how the way money is managed can impact a relationship. Oh, my gosh, isn't that true?
Yes,
coming up
sure.
on Valentine's Day. Yes, you know that's true. Also, how to achieve financial confidence. Good morning, Brian Ford. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
And where are you? Where are you calling from?
Downtown Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay, so you're not getting snow. I didn't know if you were up in New York or not. So you're in Atlanta. Okay. How's the weather there? Must be nice, huh?
It's beautiful. Fantastic day.
So when you did the survey, did you break it down into different demographics, like how old they were, the respondents, and what gender they were, and all that?
We did. The survey was fascinating, and there were some things that came out that even surprised us.
Like?
It's pretty interesting. Yeah. Well, 41% of Americans consider financial stability to be among the traits that they find most important in a partner. And that was ranking only behind personal values and personality. So pretty crazy that, more people value financial stability than education, similar hobbies, physical fitness, and even looks.
That is interesting. In a way, we understand it, though, don't we? Because we know that education is great, but what good is it if you can't apply it and make a living with it?
That's right.
You could be if you're smart. If you're smart and poor, and you hook up with that person, then you're going to be smart and poor with them. Right?
That's exactly right. That's what people are saying.
So, were the men responding the same way as the women in that regard?
No, women are more likely to say that financial stability is an important trait in a partner, so 47%, compared to 35% for men.
Okay. Well, that's kind of close, but it does make sense that it would be more for the women, I guess, because that's kind of our role as men, isn't it? Is to offer some security to a woman, right? Isn't that part of our role? I guess.
We like to think so.
Yeah. I know.
They help us feel good about that, I think.
I know some of the names we see in the news are out of this world with the money they make, but those are the exceptions. I mean, in showbiz and politics, some of the ladies in those two fields are like unbelievably wealthy. So, just have to be humble, I guess, if you're the man in their lives.
That's right.
So, how do you use? I'm curious. How does SunTrust use the information from the surveys? How do you use it?
Yeah, I mean, our goal is to not only find data, but then with that data, we want to suggest ways that we can improve. It's not just about understanding, it's about improving. And a few things that we suggest is we know that, couples aren't fighting over these little green pieces of paper in our pockets and in our purses. We're fighting over what they represent and what we can do with them. And that really comes down to what we value. So we suggest that couples kind of flesh out what they value. And they can do it separately. In fact, my wife and I did this, and it was interesting. We came back together after we listed our values and what we really care about, and we noticed we had a bunch of stuff in common, and that was good. We want most of our hard-earned money to be filtered towards those, those good things that we both have in common. But, I had some things on my list that she didn't, and vice versa, and that's okay. It was the beginning of a conversation that we could have to communicate and make some allowances within our budget. And that's really the key, is just communicating more often about finances.
I mean, if a couple is working towards home ownership, for example, and you realize that you save more money when you bring a bag lunch to work instead of going out to a restaurant. I mean, that little bit of money each day adds up after a while, and then there's your down payment for a house.
Yeah, it's true. You're right. Paying attention to the little things does matter, but I can tell you paying attention to some of the big things matter even more. So you want to really watch those big ticket items. And I love what you said when you said working towards a goal maybe of home ownership, because that's really critical. Is getting joint goals and working together can bring you together as a couple. There's lots of things to disagree over and maybe not see eye to eye.
Yeah.
But when you can find that common goal and you're working towards it, it's a good thing when it comes to relationships.
Absolutely.
And people have to make sure, too, that they have some kind of money put away for emergencies like car repairs. That's always seems to be such a big one. Or maybe somebody might be in an accident and needs extra money for the emergency room at the hospital.
Yeah, you're exactly right. In fact, we do some financial education at SunTrust, and our first step is to get people to create what we call a financial confidence account. And some people are like, isn't that just a fancy way for saying an emergency account? And it is, but our research shows that when you have one of these accounts, it's fully funded, it's in the right place, a tremendous amount of confidence will come into your life and your relationships, regardless of if an emergency ever happens to you in the future. So why not call it what it is? It's a confidence account. So you're spot on.
Really? I call mine an old coffee jar. Does it? If I went to SunTrust and opened one of them, is it an interest-bearing account?
Yes. And obviously depends on what account you're opening at SunTrust, but certainly that would be the expectation.
Well, that would be better than my coffee jar. It would be better. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I would think so. But I was going to mention in my relationship, we call it a save your marriage account. So,
so tell me, it says here you have something called the On Up movement. What is that?
Yeah, it's really the reason why I joined SunTrust. I'm actually a kid from Los Angeles, and never lived on the East Coast, but picked up and moved my family, my wife, my 4 children, just because I'm so excited about what we're doing. At SunTrust, we've sparked a movement. It's called On Up. You can join the movement at onup.com, so that's just ONUP.com.
Uh-huh.
And really, the goal is to join like-minded people and to say, look, we've had enough of this. We're going to get our finances in order. But on the website, you'll find financial resources, inspiring stories, financial quizzes, budgeting tools, all kinds of things. It's a free resource, by the way.
Oh, wow. I just went to the website. 1,153,608 participants. Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
We're excited. We just celebrated that at SunTrust. Our goal is in 5 years to move 5 million people from financial stress to financial confidence, and we're 1 million down.
Oh, my God.
Wow,
so do we take
amazing.
for this? And I said, do I have a goal? Do I set a goal? Do I say, okay, I want to, I don't know, move someplace or get a different house, or do I set goals of even small? I mean, a vacation is a relatively small goal. Could I put something like that on there?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you can look, if you look on the site, you can take a mental wealth quiz. This basically assesses, your financial mindset and then offers actionable tips. And I'd actually recommend that you take the quiz separately from your partner and then compare notes to see kind of how you view finances differently. But there's all kinds of resources there.
And you yourself, as an author, you've written books for adults. One of the one is The 8 Pillars of Financial Greatness. And then also for your award-winning children's books, Marshmallows and Bikes, teaching children about personal finance. So that's the pretty opposite ends of the spectrum there.
Yeah, I wrote the book for adults. That's kind of my main book, The 8 Pillars of Financial Greatness. But having children myself, it's certainly a passion of mine. I think we need to start earlier in our country teaching personal finance, which was a lot of fun.
I love that about you. Okay, I wish we had more time to talk about that. I didn't know about that. I'm looking at it in my notes. Brian, thank you for being on the air with us today. Before we say goodbye, I went to the website onup.com, and it looks real easy to use, and it's a pretty impressive site, as a matter of fact. So, do we use this? Do we use this regularly, or do we just go to this one time? How do we use the site?
Yeah, the goal is to keep coming back to the site. But once you join the movement, you'll start to receive what we call on updates. And these are going to be helpful, actionable tips that you can take on a monthly basis to move from financial stress to confidence.
Okay. That's what we want. Financial confidence, right?
That's right.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, hopefully we have some listeners who will participate in this. Go to onup.com and you'll see what we're looking at here in the studio. Brian Ford, thank you so much. Good luck with everything you do. Congratulations on your move to Atlanta. It's a beautiful city. I know you miss L.A., though.
Thank you so much. I do. Thank you so much, Larry Robin. It's great to be with you this morning.
Thank you. All right, we will be right back.
Fox News Radio.
Bye.
I'm Lillian Wu. Some 50 million Americans in the path of a monster storm hitting the Northeast. It's got some drivers like this woman in Clifton, New Jersey, nervous.
Chevy Cruise? I don't think I'm going to be cruising.